what is your specialty?
My specialty is doing special laboratory tests. I developed the lymphocyte transformation tests in Europe, the ELISpot technique, which is now FDA approved by your system. And I think this is a T-cellular activity test for Lyme and co-infections.
So what did you find that Lyme disease is? How would you catalog it? As a bacterial or infection or parasite?
Lyme disease from the microbiologist is a bacterial infection, but I call it a chameleon because it's protected by biofilms, it's in cystic forms, it's intracellular, and it's very difficult to find intracellular, for example.
And this just as a bacterial infection. So you will say...
For me, it's a bacterial infection. It's no virus. It's no protozoan. We could discuss about the genetic original form. Maybe there's some correlation with Chlamydia, Mycoplasma rickettsia, intracellular bacteria. We don't know actually.
Do you have Lyme disease in Germany?
Yes, we have. We think 8 million chronic sick patients with fibromyalgia, multiple sclerosis, or rheumatoid arthritis, dementia, autism. They don't know that they suffer from Lyme disease or some other infections.
So you're saying it has been misdiagnosed also in Germany?
It's not so misdiagnosed. The doctors don't know about that it's a possible reason by a tick bite or mosquito bite that there could be a transmission of Borrelia or other bacteria.
So you're thinking that maybe during the history of the medicine, people has been diagnosed with other type of diseases, but not looking at the cause. If they have looked at the cause as to see it was a bacteria, maybe they have diagnosed differently.
Sure, doctors look too symptomatically. They don't look general symptoms. They don't ask for general symptoms. Chronic fatigue syndrome, for example, they don't ask for a tick bite. This is a question of anamnesis, and if you do a good symptomatology, then you have the best chances to diagnose it.
And in the laboratories, what have you seen? How is the Borrelia? How it acts?
Borrelia is a chameleon, and we find in around 60% of all of our patients, we find antibodies, but in 40% they are seronegative, and we don't find any antibodies.
And you don't find the meanings why? So when you look at the test, the antibiotics of the Borrelia is not there, or it's because it's very difficult to find?
Yeah, the patients develop a secondary immune deficiency syndrome, and they have a lack of immune globulin G, for example, the IgG subclass deficiencies, and they cannot produce any longer antibodies because they are too weak from the immune system.
So maybe doing antibiotic testing could be a mistake, and maybe it could be we might need to have another type of testing to find the ones that are not showing the antibodies.
The antibodies are not the rule for the future. We have to look for the T cells to do the LTT test. We have to look for the natural killer cells, and we have to look for some other co-infections or opportunistic infections.
And do you look for those in your lab?
Absolutely. We look for each infection which is possible, and I found out that 90% of all Borrelia, Burgdorferi or Lyme disease patients, they all suffer from Chlamydia pneumoniae infections.
Oh my
Sure,
God.
absolutely.
And you're finding that in Germany or also here in the US?
We have patients worldwide. I diagnosed 15,000 patients from all over the world, from Australia. Chlamydia pneumoniae is absolutely nearby by the symptomatology. It causes multiple sclerosis, rheumatoid arthritis. So you cannot say, is it more Lyme disease? Is it more chlamydia? Maybe mycoplasma in the background or Bartonella. You have to find it out by a lab test, and then you have to treat it by the right antibiotics, not the other way.
So, Doctor, so you come from Germany and you come to the US and you are with the ILADS, and there's controversy with the ILADS and IDSA and all this difficult political, medical situation. How do you feel in the middle of this? Do you think this is fair for the patients and the medical community?
The practical experience, I'm a practical working laboratory specialist, and I do many therapies with patients myself. For me, it's no alternative pathway to say 2 weeks antibiotics and everything is fine, and then you have a syndrome. That's no explanation for a patient who did a patient with a painkiller. So you have to look for other infections, or you have to think over new activity tests and then to do a new therapy form for those patients. Not to say it's a syndrome and they suffer from a post-Lyme disease syndrome. This is no explanation for the symptoms.
You will say this is unfair. the
this
way
is
it's
unfair,
been.
absolutely, and it's unethical for me.
Unethical.
Absolutely unethical.
And which is the main symptoms of those patients that you see, how they are?
They have all chronic fatigue, they have a loss of power, they are not able to go to their job any longer, they have psychosocial problems, they have joint problems, muscle problems, weakness. They're not able to work, and it's really a criminal situation what we are doing. I'm a traditional thinking doctor, but what we are doing, we have to think over the whole situation.
And it is spreading everywhere.
It's spreading everywhere. We have a climate exchange, and we have more and more ticks, we have more and more vectors, we have more and more weak older patients. The immune system is getting not so strong over the years, so we have more. It's like HIV infection or cancer you get when you're 60 years or 70 years, and then there's a breakout. And stress, if you have stressful situation, this is absolutely very, very bad for Lyme disease or for other infected patients.
So it's not just that the person is her personality, like what many people think, oh, my mother she's getting crazy, or my sister, my wife. Is the infection affecting the brain and making the person more sensible?
Absolutely. The patients have concentration problems, forgetfulness, loss of the short-term memory. They are very, very sick in several parts because, look, Borrelia and chlamydia, they are everywhere in the body, and they can cause every symptom. It's possible.
But also at the same time, I think we're suffering that because doctors are saying that each case is so individual, that she is treated in one way and I'm treated in another way, but at the end, we probably all have the same mycoplasma, as you're saying, or we all have, and we're not being treated for all the co-infections. In most of the cases, we're just being treated for one thing. So wouldn't it be better like to have a big protocol to treat all the co-infections at the same time?
The aim of therapies has to be to go intracellular, to find a solution for the biofilms, and long-term treatment, and to stage, I call it a staging process, like a cancer patient. You look after 2 months, what's the activity in the blood for the antibodies for the LTT, and then you have to treat the patient so long the organ system tolerates this.
Yeah.
We have patients, they are allergic or they cannot tolerate antibiotics any longer, but don't forget we have very, very helpful protocols. Lee Cohen has a perfect protocol, By and White protocol. So I come from the German traditional herbal medicine. I know this, and we have options for the patient, but in some patients they are therapy resistant and there's no therapy working for them. But overall, it's the immune system, and if you have a very good immune system, you can control many bacteria and viruses and all the protozoan. You have to do a good lifestyle, no stress, vitamins, supplements, probiotics, good nutrition, and so on and so on. It's a multi-modular concept you have to do in therapies.
Multi-modular.
Absolutely.
And about the Babesia, being Babesia a malaria-type parasite in blood, what would you do for that one?
Babesia is a malaria-like bacteria. You know it. You have feverish reactions. You have a night sweat between 2 and 4 o'clock, and all those symptoms. And Babesia, we treat Babesia with Plaquenil, for example, or if you don't want it or you don't tolerate it, we use the artemisinin.
Artemisinin.
It's very helpful. It's anti-malaria medicine.
Would you say who is treating better the Lyme disease, Europe or the US, in your concept?
No. There's no difference. We are both engaged. Maybe Germany is a little bit more experienced in the herbal medicine, traditional style, and US is more experienced in the long-term antibiotics and the consequences of this.
Any message you would like to give to patients or to doctors?
Don't give up, patients. You have options, you have chances. You have to look for several bacteria, not just for Lyme, not just for Borrelia. Don't forget other infections, don't forget other reasons, and don't give up, patients.
Would you say there's a cure?
Absolutely. You have options. I know my friends, many are infected and many are cured. Surely.
Thank you, doctor.
Thank you.
I appreciate it.